surprisingly, he embarrassed himself yet again. We have a couple of big updates on the ongoing saga of The Rock in Franklin, and so much more. It is a jam-packed day on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Welcome to it. If you'd like to join us, the AdventNews.com talk and text line is open, as it always is, 414-799-1130. You can also reach us toll-free, 1-800-838-9476. If you've got a story idea, a news tip, sources are always fully protected at dod@iheartmedia.com. That is my direct email. I do check every single one, though I can't promise to get back to every single one, because oftentimes there's just a flood of spam, of interview requests, and all sorts of nonsense in my inbox. But I promise you, I do painstakingly go through every single email at dod@iheartmedia.com. Follow the show on X at Dan O'Donnell Show, where we are streaming live via the DanoCam each and every day. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show, where we do ask you to do your part to help expand Dan Nation. We are caught up in Facebook's obviously anti-conservative algorithm, and we only get, while we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views on X, approximately 100 viewers at a time on YouTube, we get about 20 on Facebook. One of these things is not like the other, so we ask that you share that live stream. You can also watch us on YouTube. Just search for Dan O'Donnell or Dan O'Donnell Show. We had the nationwide winner at 10 o'clock yesterday in the Spring Green Cash Contest. By my count, that is 7 winners on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Or, when I was filling in for Mark Belling on WISN, we've had a number of winners listening on ISN and one listening on WIBA in Madison. Congratulations to all of them. Brian was the winner yesterday, took home $1,000. And the next winner here from Dan Nation could be you. All you need to do is go to our website, enter the keyword WIN. You have until 55 past the hour to go to our website and enter the keyword WIN. If your entry is picked at random, you will win $1,000 instantly. Monday is a deadline for the City of Milwaukee's Election Commission, which, of course, as of a couple of days ago, has new leadership. Claire Woodall out, Diana Gutierrez in as interim head of the City of Milwaukee Election Commission. But there is a deadline coming up on Monday to respond to a complaint filed by the Wisconsin GOP in the wake of last month's spring election. The gist of the complaint is that the City of Milwaukee rejected a truly staggering number of poll workers nominated by the Republican Party. So too did the City of Madison, but Milwaukee's discrepancy was stunning. While there was reporting at the time about the complaint that was filed, the details have never been released until now. The Republican Party of Wisconsin nominated 267 poll workers. Now, these are not election observers. These are not Republican lawyers who monitor the goings-on at Central Count. These are poll workers. These are merely people who you'll see every election. Oftentimes, they're a little older. At least they are in my community. I always enjoy talking to them. They're always very kind, very complimentary. I live in a very conservative area, so all of them are fans of the show. I always say, shh, I don't want to be accused of electioneering by my mere presence, making it seem like I'm there on behalf of the Republican Party or the conservative cause. I'm just there to vote. They're the people who look up your ballot. They ask for your ID. They give you your ballot. They help you put it into the machine. Maybe some of them are helping to work the bake sale as you walk out. So the Republican Party nominated 267 people to be poll workers. And the only requirement is that you have to be a resident of Milwaukee County. You don't need to be a resident of the City of Milwaukee unless you want to work at Central Count. You just have to be a County of Milwaukee resident. Out of 267 poll workers who were nominated, guess how many were actually accepted by Claire Woodall, the now former director of the Milwaukee Election Commission? 49. 49 out of 267 who the Republican Party wanted to nominate. Now, guess how many Claire Woodall and the Milwaukee Election Commission hired who were Democrats? You need about, apparently, 250 or so poll workers to work the election in the spring election and upcoming election in November. Guess how many Democrats out of those 200 and, well, it was a total of 249. 200 were Democrats. Just 49 were Republicans. Now, according to Wisconsin statute 7.301A, whichever party wins the previous statewide election at the top of the ticket, either the gubernatorial election in midterm election years or the presidential election in presidential election years, gets one more poll worker per ward based on whichever political party won that ward. This is a little confusing, but let's say Tony Evers beat Tim Michels in the 2022 gubernatorial election. Poll workers are then chosen in 2023 going into 2024, right? If, say, Tony Evers won a ward in the city of Milwaukee, his political party, the Democrats, would be entitled to one more poll worker than the Republicans. If, however, Tim Michels won a ward, let's just say in Cudahy, Michels' party, the Republicans, would be entitled to one more poll worker per ward. There is no way that 200 Democrats and 49 Republicans comports with state law. So the Republican Party filed a lawsuit. This went all the way up to the National Republican Party, and Michael Whatley, the chairman of the GOP, actually chimed in on this, issuing a statement about how the Republican Party's rights are not being respected by the city of Milwaukee or the city of Madison. So complaints were filed immediately following last month's spring election. In Madison, there were just 51 Republicans chosen out of 151 nominated. Now, the discrepancy in poll workers is a little bit more in line with what it should be, 65 Democrats versus 51 Republicans. The Wisconsin GOP has apparently talked with the City of Madison's clerk's office, and the City of Madison has been far more willing to work with Republicans. In fact, the Republican Party apparently considers this mostly resolved. They feel far more hopeful with respect to getting a positive resolution, getting a fair resolution with the number of poll workers in the city of Madison as opposed to the city of Milwaukee. Now, what possible reason could you have to only select 49 poll workers out of the 267 who were nominated, unless your goal is to simply flood the zone, flood all the polls with Democrats? Now, this isn't to suggest, and please don't misinterpret anything I'm saying, this is not to suggest in any way that the former director of the Milwaukee Election Commission, Claire Woodall, was attempting to cheat by stacking the deck, so to speak, with Democrats. We have a very good question coming from Winston, watching as part of Dan Nation on YouTube. Why do poll workers have to be nominated by party? Why does this matter? Can poll workers cheat somehow? Yes. Very easily, in fact. All you really need to do in order to cheat is to grab a couple ballots at the end of the day, or from people who you know would never, ever, ever vote, fill them out and put them in the machine while checking off that that person had actually voted. It's, in fact, very easy. Now, there are a whole lot of levels of supervision, and cameras are everywhere, and you need poll observers. This is why it was so egregious that all across the country on Election Day 2020, Republican poll watchers were being kicked out of areas where they could actually see where the ballots were being counted and what was being done. It's not as though that was proof positive of fraud. And you remember at the arena in Atlanta, where they pretended that there was a pipe burst, so they sent home all the media, they sent home all of the Republican poll observers, Democrats too, and then they immediately went back to counting votes. Remember, they put up the big poster board and all of the cardboard so you couldn't see inside where the count was going on. This isn't per se evidence of cheating, but it makes one wonder, okay, what exactly is going on? And the reason that you have, to answer your question, Winston, poll workers from both parties is the idea that a poll worker from the Republican Party won't let a Democratic Party poll worker do something untoward or potentially unlawful or something that could give a partisan advantage to the Democrats and vice versa. It's essentially a check. This is why when you have the special voting deputies, and we talked about this all the time on my show in the wake of what was going on in nursing homes in 2020, why you have one from the Republican Party and one from the Democratic Party, and why it's actually a violation of state law to have nursing home workers handle voting, as they were doing in the 2020 election, on the pretense that people going into the nursing homes could spread COVID, even though at the nursing home in Mount Pleasant, which was the subject of a police investigation, thanks to a tipster who emailed me, and we forwarded her on to the Racine County Sheriff's Department, they were allowing the pool cleaner, the fish tank cleaning guy in. They were allowing the air conditioning repair guy in, but they wouldn't allow special voting deputies. Give me a break. So now the battle is going to be over whether the City of Milwaukee and its new election commission director are going to follow the law. They have until Monday to file a response to this complaint from the City of Milwaukee, from the Republican Party of Wisconsin, along with the Milwaukee County Republican Party and the national GOP. Are they going to follow the law? Are they going to allow the requisite number of poll workers to observe? You are listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Coming up, we will talk about the most successful local election initiative in the state.
This is the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Hot summer night, lightning strike. Down goes the tree, right through their bedroom wall, nearly ruining a walnut headboard, which is pretty hard wood. Fortunately, the customers were okay, but the headboard? That wasn't. Until they called us. We made that Victorian headboard better than new. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing, repair, and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. Well, if you haven't heard me bragging by now, we're darn good. Actually, my dad has no qualms about saying we're the best. And if you're skeptical, I understand. But all you have to do is go to MullallyFinishing.com to learn why we're great at what we do and see lots of before and after photos that show off our impressive work. So if you're looking for a name you can trust, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY Finishing.com.
If you're someone who's experiencing shoulder, spine, hip, knee, or musculoskeletal pain and a total joint replacement might be in your future, think Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Their physicians specialize in same-day total joint replacements at their own ambulatory surgery center. See orthowisconsin.com.
Semper Roofing and Exteriors, where reputation matters and character counts. Veteran-owned and operated. Go to SemperFiRoofing.com.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi. Make mom feel extra special this Mother's Day. Shop Sendik's wide selection of gifts like candles, clothing, and home decor. Sendik's also has beautiful flowers mom will love. Shop in-store or order flowers for delivery at SendixHome.com. And to make it easy, Sendik's is offering customized boxed candy and made-to-order chocolate-covered strawberries on Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Learn more at Sendix.com. Sendik's Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular's single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Here's why money Warshevsky.
Classical conservatism. Contemporary style. You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Quick correction. I was calling the new Milwaukee Election Commission Director Diana Gutierrez. It's Paulina Gutierrez. Just quick mistake. Diana Gutierrez. There is a news anchor named Diana Gutierrez. Okay, that's where I got that. I'm like, where am I getting Diana from? Okay, it's Paulina Gutierrez. No word on if they're related. Gutierrez is a very common name. Just to recap our top story, we now know the details about the GOP's complaint against the City of Milwaukee and the City of Madison. The Republican Party nominated 267 poll workers, and the City of Milwaukee, under the direction of the former director Claire Woodall, only brought on 249. So there are 49. There are 200 Democrats who are going to be working the polls this November if this is allowed to stand in direct violation of state law. I don't think I need to tell you that. Wisconsin Statute 7.31. 200 Democrats, just 49 Republicans. Let's go to the phones and talk with Jeff in Greenfield. You're up first on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Good morning, Jeff.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
I am a poll worker. I worked the last two elections. Let me close the door. And at no time did I ever give my party affiliation. The way I became a poll worker is I went down to City Hall and filled out an application, and it didn't ask me anything there. And then they called me and assigned me to a school in the city of Milwaukee.
Sure. That will happen. You get volunteers, and then I'm going to take a wild guess, it took a little while, and then you were contacted. The parties have the right in various cities to nominate poll workers. If they don't nominate enough, then there can be nonpartisan poll workers who are chosen. So Greenfield, where I assume you were volunteering, is probably one that the GOP and the Democratic Party of Wisconsin aren't going to focus on. But if there is, the law allows each party to nominate a certain number of poll workers. The city of Milwaukee, I don't think I need to tell you, with 300, 400,000 votes, is a much bigger prize than Greenfield, which I believe has 40,000 residents total, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's actually the city where I grew up. And you'll have to pardon me, Greenfield. I still love you, even if I don't remember your population right off the top of my head. So smaller communities like that will typically rely, because the parties aren't coming in and saying, hey, we want to nominate poll workers. And that's the reason for the discrepancy. Coming up in about how much? See, the old man still got it. 37,000 is Greenfield's current population, says Dave. That was within 2,000. I should be like one of those carnival guessers. I will guess your weight within 10 pounds, your age within 5 years, or your city's population within 5,000 people. Coming up in about 10 minutes, Terry Dietrich, the chairman of the Republican Party of Waukesha, will give us some results on last month's WIS Red initiative and just how well the program is working in the admittedly already red county of Waukesha, and why I still believe this is proof positive this program needs to be implemented statewide. Stat. I mean, yesterday. I have been screaming about this for at least 3 years now, really since the moment WIS Red started. We'll talk with Terry about just how successful it's been. But I made a promise to you, ladies and gentlemen, my listeners, that every single day Donald Trump is stuck in a courtroom in New York and not able to campaign. Every single day that he can't be on the campaign trail, I am going to play every single minute of what he says outside the courtroom. If the only time he's going to be allowed to address the American people is outside of court, then in this critical swing state on the most listened to radio station in said state, we are going to play every single word. Today, President Trump talks for about 4.5 minutes. Here he is, President Donald Trump, before heading into the courtroom this morning.
Thank you very much. What Biden is doing with respect to Israel is disgraceful. If any Jewish person voted for Joe Biden, they should be ashamed of themselves. He's totally abandoned Israel, and nobody can believe it. I guess he feels good about it because he did it as a political decision. You have to do the right decision, not the political decision. But he did a very bad thing. I just want to let you know that we've just filed a major motion in the appellate division concerning the absolutely unconstitutional gag order, where I'm essentially not allowed to talk to you about anything meaningful that's going on in the case, and many good things are going on with the case. It shouldn't have been filed. They had this morning the top legal scholars in the country. This is a Frankenstein case. They took a dead misdemeanor, they attached it to a dead alleged federal felony and zapped it back into life. So many of us are just amazed to watch this actually walk into court, because it's not a recognizable crime that any of us have seen. It's Jonathan Turley. I've been doing this for 60 years and I don't understand what crime he's been charged with. Nobody understands this. I just don't get the crime. There's no evidence of any crime whatsoever. This is a sham. That's Alan Dershowitz. And these are people that they speak their minds. They're not for me, they're for justice. This is another one. This is without precedent in American history, only with the desperation of President Joe Biden and his fanatic left-wing enforcers did it become possible to think about arresting and jailing their major political opponent. This case must be taken out of Judge Merchan's hands because it's totally conflicted. Judge Merchan is totally conflicted, like probably no judge has ever been conflicted before. Here's another one, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg. His prosecution of former President Donald Trump violates both the federal and state constitutions. This is a prosecutor making it up as he goes along. Due process worthy of the names does not tolerate that. So these are statements. This is Andrew McCarthy made that statement. Highly respected. Judge is allowing wide scope of information that has absolutely nothing to do with the case. That's Rebecca Rosewood on Fox News. Today we have Rick Scott here, Senator Rick Scott. We have other politicians here. We have people, many people in support. The outside of this building is closed down like Fort Knox. Nobody's ever seen. We have so many police down here, New York's finest, and they are New York's finest. They're just told what to do, but they don't have them at Columbia. They don't have them at NYU or any other places. This is like an armed camp down here, and you have nothing to worry about. Believe me, your problem is from the left. It's not from the outside and you have it from within. From within is a bigger danger to our country, and it's from the left, not from the right. But Rick Scott's here, and he said you can't go after political persecutions. This is a shame. This should not be happening in our country. And Senator Ted Cruz put out a very strong statement about attacking Donald Trump and the American voter. It's an attack on both. This is purely and simply election interference. There is no case. So that's the way it is, but here we sit after 2.5 weeks, and I think you'll see some very revealing things today, and I want to thank my lawyers. They've done a very good job, but I'd rather thank them after it's over as opposed to now, because we don't want them to get carried away. There's no case. Should have never been brought. Alvin Bragg didn't want to bring it. Cy Vance didn't want to bring it, and he didn't. He left. He didn't bring it. Everybody's looked at it. Southern District didn't bring it. Federal elections didn't bring it. It's also a federal case, not a state case, which they're not allowed to do, but these are minor details. So I just want to thank you for being here, and we'll see you later in the afternoon. Thank you very much.
That is President Trump before his court proceedings today, and I hate to say it, but I think we have got another day of, you remember what Rush Limbaugh, I know I talk about Rush all the time. The man is, and always will be, my hero in broadcasting. I remember he used to say when the media would go nuts about something Gorbachev would do, he said the media was having gorbasms, right? We need something similar with Stormy Daniels. The media is having stormasms every time the woman opens her mouth and says something that contradicts something that she had said previously, but that embarrasses Trump. The media has some stormasms, so expect more stormasms today. I guess that's kind of a little ick, seeing as she used to work as a porn star, but nonetheless. Terry Dietrich, the chairman of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, coming up next to talk about the success of his WisRed initiative.
Dan O'Donnell is coming right back.
Picture taking your first steps into your brand new home. What do you see? Whether it's cooking meals in your 5-star kitchen or practicing downward dog in your sunroom, Belinsky Homes can handle it all. At Belinsky Homes, we know each lifestyle calls for unique home essentials. That's why we've been designing distinct and deliberate floor plans for over 60 years. Considering every last inch of space, we build new homes ready to adapt to your life's needs. Visit Belinsky.com today to find your right fit. Belinsky Homes, built for life.
Make mom feel extra special this Mother's Day. Shop Sendik's wide selection of gifts like candles, clothing, and home decor. Sendik's also has beautiful flowers mom will love. Shop in-store or order flowers for delivery at sendikshome.com. And to make it easy, Sendik's is offering customized boxed candy and made-to-order chocolate-covered strawberries on Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Learn more at sendix.com. Sendik's Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
This is Michael Lynch from Lynch Truck Center. For the first time ever, Lynch Truck Center is having a massive construction sale on over 400 in-stock trucks, which include Chevrolet, GMC, Kino, and Isuzu. You will not want to miss it. We're adding parking, 7 more truck bays, and expanded parts storage, so we can better serve you, our customer. Did you know our experienced sales staff sold more Chevrolet medium-duty trucks and cab overs than all the other dealers in the state combined? With their knowledge on upfits, combined with our service department, we deliver turnkey vehicles for your business, including the right body for your application, bin packages, and even lettered when it's delivered right to your door. As a business owner, has managing your fleet grown into a full-time job? Our fleet department can help. We provide a free fleet analysis which guides you when to trade, help track expenses for maintenance, fuel, and even vehicle tracking. You'll be shocked on the money and time you can save, not to mention having new vehicles under warranty. Visit lynchtruckcenter.com and give us a shot. We won't disappoint you.
Do you have a rotted wood window, foggy or broken glass, having a hard time opening your sliding door? Argo Glass and Windows can fix it all, saving the original look and your budget. Call us today and get a free estimate from Argo, where we repair first, replace at worst. Your one-stop window and door problem solver. Call us at 262-372-7110. That's 262-372-7110. Argo Glass and Windows, 262-372-7110.
guys, welcome to the home box stop. Ready for those new kitchen cabinets and countertops? Okay, well, let's get you guys going. Inches, centimeters, inches, right?
Right.
Is this your first time? Oh, no. Been here for years. Actually, in light bulbs. I'm covering for Karen. She took the week off. One sec. No worries. The computer does all the work.
Customer assistance to light bulbs.
Oh, that's me, BRB.
Yeah, let's go.
Granite Plus?
Hurry, here she comes.
Hi, I'm Laz with Granite Plus. Countertops and cabinets is what we do. As a meticulously detailed local fabricator, say goodbye to the middleman and upgrade your home with real factory direct savings. Homeowners, flippers, contractors, why would you pay more? Go to graniteplususa.com, that's graniteplususa.com, or visit any of our Milwaukee area showrooms and start saving today.
This is a unique place, and there aren't many businesses around like us. We're locally owned, but we've been known to do business on a nationwide scale. We're a retail business, but we're also a distributor. We sell the finest windows and doors and install them all with Craftsman detail. But we also carry the widest selection of replacement parts you can find and are happy to give you valuable advice, so you actually don't have to buy new replacement windows or doors just yet. Like I said, we are different, and that's good. In fact, it's great for you, and it's been great for thousands of our customers who rely on us year in and year out for the best products and industry expertise you just can't find everywhere. This is David Wilhelm. For the highest quality replacement windows and doors and a massive selection of the parts you need to make them last, your clear choice for more is Lisbon Storm Screen and Door. Find us at lisbonstorm.com.
Your clear choice for more, Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
Hey guys, don't be that dad without life insurance. When thanks to Ethos, you can be that great dad with life insurance to help keep his family living exactly like they do now, secure and protected in the event of the unexpected. With a fast and easy online experience, some policies as low as $1 a day and up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam, just a few health questions. Ethos makes getting life insurance protection hassle-free. E for easy, E for Ethos at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now, and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
It's brand new, Season 2. I'm Marissa Thalberg.
And I'm Stephen Wolf-Fededa, and we're excited to be back having bigger, bolder, and always real conversations.
Straight from the C-suite front lines of marketing, media, and more.
We have great friends joining from people you may know, like Wilmer Valderrama and Bobby Burke.
And people you'll want to know. So grab a coffee or, hey, even an Aperol Spritz and come join us on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart.
Open your free iHeart app today and search brand new.
Conservative thoughts, not just talk. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show, a show officially endorsed by one Donald J. Trump.
Your show is a very important show, and it's a great show, and we appreciate it.
One of the biggest successes in Wisconsin politics has been WisRed in Waukesha County, which provides information to voters regarding nonpartisan election candidates. There are always conservatives and liberals who are running for races, but oftentimes voters in smaller communities don't know which is which. So this tends to depress voter turnout as people are scared of voting for the wrong candidate. And this is why you'll see huge numbers of votes on constitutional ballot referenda, state Supreme Court races, but you won't see a similar rise in, say, your local village board or school board. It's because people will just leave those races blank because they have no idea who's actually running. That doesn't happen too much in Waukesha County, an overwhelmingly conservative-leaning county, because of WisRed. Red. Joining me now is the force behind Wis Red and the chairman of the Waukesha County Republican Party, Terry Dietrich. Terry, welcome to the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Good morning, Dan. Great to be with you.
Well, it's always great to have you on, sir. So this was, you'll have to refresh my memory, the third election cycle that your party has done, Wis Red?
No, this is number 4.
This was the fourth. Okay. Yeah, the first was 2020. That's why I always forget it, because that election was so crazy. Now, in those past 3 years, you had a pretty phenomenal success rate in that a staggering percentage of your candidates won either election or re-election. Now, it should be noted that included in these are candidates who Wis Red endorses, but who don't, and this is just sort of the nature of these sorts of things, who run unopposed, or there's only one, and those are, of course, added to the total. But in 2024, what percentage of Wis Red-backed candidates won election or re-election?
Right, Jay. We're happy to announce, Dan, that we had 89% win rate, 129 out of 139 candidates that we supported won countywide. So another great year. On average, over the last 4 years, we're right at about 89%. And we're proud to announce that we just went over our 500 mark. So we have 514, I believe it's out of 560 or so races since 2021, 22, 23, and 24 in the county. So we now have taken back just about every majority on the municipal and the school board side with an 89% win rate. So it's been a phenomenal success. We're very proud of it. We didn't do it alone. We don't want to claim all the credit all the time. These were courageous candidates who stepped forward, parents groups, and other groups that stepped up to help. But we've been the basis of this, the template that's allowed us to scale this at a level that we've been able to beat the Democrats every single year, despite, in fact, in 2024, it looks like we've been outspent at least 2-1, probably 3-1 by the Democrats with outside money outside of Waukesha. So that's the big tail of this. Our turnout was about 42% countywide and much higher in some other the other municipalities. So we think we've got people primed up for the fall after winning a big spring.
And that's the key, isn't it? It's boosting turnout in conservative counties, especially knowing full well that if they know who they're going to vote for, they will show up and they will vote because it's what they do. To me, the most important thing in these races is just knowing who the real conservatives are. Right. While these are nonpartisan elections, let's not pretend that the Democratic Party sees anything other than partisan gains by getting their people on the school board. The big story, as you alluded to, was the dramatic discrepancy, and we highlighted this extensively on the Dan O'Donnell Show, between the amount of money that the Democratic Party spent and the amount of money that the Republican Party spent in the spring election cycle, even though there was no big race on the ballot statewide. Sure, there was the Zucker-Bucks amendments questions, but this didn't drive turnout like control of the state Supreme Court, where we saw an even bigger discrepancy. And I think this is sort of the future, or at least the foreseeable future, that Democrats are pumping a ton of money and putting a ton of emphasis on local races because they understand something that I know Senator Ron Johnson has been preaching for a while now, that politics is essentially bottom up. If you get people at the grassroots level energized, if you get them engaged in politics, it has a trickle-up effect to the congressional races and to statewide races. And you've certainly seen this in Waukesha, as evidenced by the fact that, yes, Waukesha is a conservative community, but statewide, in these statewide races, Waukesha has gone from, 70%-ish all the way down to 60% Republican vote, whereas you're getting upwards of 90% conservative successes.
Correct. Yep. And what's really exciting about this is in 2022, in those contentious races for governor and state senate, we did the same as far as the percentages were concerned. And actually, just as you said with Senator Johnson and his trickle-up theory, which I absolutely agree with, we were proud that 4 of the 7 individuals who ended up running for state assembly in our county, along with a couple of state senators, we won all 7 of those races in 2022. 2022 along with our spring elections. So the spring elections definitely catapulted us with good momentum and turnout to win all seven out of 7 races for the state assembly and state senate. So it is absolutely proof that if you've got a robust program at the local level beating the Democrats, you can beat them right up tickets. So we're excited about continuing that effort because we believe in it. Great stuff.
I have been banging the drum for this program to be replicated in every one of Wisconsin's 72 counties, Milwaukee's 72 counties. Sometimes it feels like Milwaukee does dominate the state, but as now what we're seeing is Dane County is really the one that's putting Democrats over the top. What we've seen, the conventional wisdom for politicos here in Wisconsin has been, look, Democrats are going to win Dane and Milwaukee County. What you need is for the WOW counties, Waukesha, Ozaukee, and Washington counties to cancel out Dane, and the rest of the state cancels out Milwaukee. If you can get your people out state, you're going to win statewide. That calculus no longer works because of the dramatic population growth of Dane County and also the incredible ease with which Democrats are able to register and get voting every single one of the UW-Madison students on campus. Their voter turnout machine is incredible. Now, this doesn't necessarily translate to some of the smaller races, but I believe that if we have a WisRed or something equivalent in every single one of Wisconsin's 72 counties, that also helps with get out the vote efforts, with data mining, with all of the stuff that wins elections in 2024 on a bigger level. But you have been met with what I think is really undue resistance in trying to expand this initiative. Why?
You know, we have had talks with the state party over the last few years, even with Ron Johnson involved with that, and it just seemed like there's a reticence to have a county party kind of be the lead to go out and replicate this around the state. I'm not necessarily an advocate that Waukesha County should be going to St. Croix County or Brown County and running their local elections.
No, but the state should. The state should.
Oh, yeah, and we're certainly willing to participate in any structural organization of that that we can. So I named the program, personally, I named it WisRed because I had the dream that if we were successful in Waukesha, we could go statewide. Now, I know that the state party has what they call the farm team effort, and they're putting some effort into local races, but I'll tell you what, Dan, it is a local grind. You need to have infrastructure in place in these local communities and these local counties on a permanent basis to go out and recruit, vet, prepare, and run these, and you have to be able to scale this. And the state party has been reticent to try and incorporate what we're doing into their program, and I think this would pay great dividends on the turnout side and also just at the local level. I can tell you I've talked to so many of our 72 county chairs around the state in the state party structure, and I asked them about local elections and I asked them about the infrastructure that they have. They're not prepared to participate in these. They'd like to, and they're calling me consistently and saying, Terry, can't you bring WisRed here? Why don't you bring WisRed? Please come out and meet 3 or 4 of us county chairs and talk to us about this on the data aspect and the get out the vote and the marketing and the scaling and those types of things, which I've been happy to do on a volunteer basis. Let me clear the air. WisRed is an initiative under the county party. It is not under the Republican Party of Waukesha County. It is not a separate entity. It's not a separate bank account. It's not a separate business. It is an initiative under our county party. So all support for that comes through the state party structure to the county party down to WisRed as simply an initiative. I, as a volunteer chair, have been involved with starting this with my colleagues, my team, for the last 4 years. We did it all on our own. We raised our own money. We spent our own money. I don't take a penny. My vice chair doesn't take a penny, who's our chief strategist. Let's put that right there. It is a county-wide program that could be replicated very simply because it's templated and put in a position that it could be replicated all over. It's not like, we've gone rogue here. We're just simply a county party doing their job aggressively, and we see that we found a winning formula. So we'd love to see it go statewide.
Just to hear you clarify this, because this is one of the things that I hear when I, toot your horn in saying, hey, you need to replicate this, is that WisRed or you personally are taking a percentage of the money that's coming in, that, that not all of the money is directly going to the candidates. You're saying that is false.
Sure, absolutely. Listen, Dan, let's be very clear. Ask anyone in this state to go to the state finance reports, which come out at the end of each quarter, and the next one will be in July, and absolutely every single penny is outlined in contributions, most of them, in fact, all of them being in-kind contributions, things like postcards, texting, those types of things. Every single expenditure from our county party is on display throughout the state through the State Finance Committee. So this is just nonsense. These are people, unfortunately, there are those who, instead of wanting to champion successful programs, are in the other mindset of trying to tear down, trying to find negativity. This is a successful program under a simple county party that no one gets paid in this county party as far as our board, as far as our executive committee, et cetera. We're a volunteer organization. We have 2.5 paid staff, which is all 100% transparent in our state finance reports and all of our accounting reports. Anyone is absolutely welcome to call our treasurer and see our books, as long as it's transparently done. I mean, we have the other side, the radical left, who's always trying to find fault in what Republicans are doing while they're getting away with all kinds of crazy things. But at the end of the day, let's put this to rest. I don't get paid. My vice chair, who's Chris Flinker, who's our chief strategist, don't get paid for this program. I'm an unpaid county chair according to our county constitution. End of story.
He is Waukesha County Party Chairman Terry Dietrich, the brains behind the WisRed initiative, joining me on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Sir, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it.
You bet, Dan. Let's go out and win. Let's be positive and go out and win for this state and save our state and save our country. That's the most important thing for the people and the citizens of Waukesha County and the rest of the state.
Amen to that. I'm sorry we had to cut you off, sir, because we are really running up against the clock. I do apologize for my itchy trigger finger there, but we're going to get you the unhinged liberal of the day coming up next.
Have you heard that real estate commissions are coming down? Ask your 6% broker if they're still charging 6%. Spoiler alert, they are. Before you overpay to sell your home, Google Redefined Realty. We have 15 to 20 agents, 3 local offices, West Bend, Waukesha, and Pewaukee, and over 500 5-star Google reviews. At just 3.99%, you can sell your home for a fair price and get the professional full-service MLS representation that you deserve. Don't pay 6% in such a hot housing market. It's just 3.99% at Redefined Realty for the same thing.
Looking for fitness that fits your budget? Join Planet Fitness. Now through May 10th, you can save almost 25% a month. We've dropped our monthly membership from $12.99 to just $10 a month. Cancel anytime. With equipment for every workout, free fitness training, helpful team members, and most clubs open 24 hours, you can get energized in the judgment-free zone. Don't miss out. Get big fitness energy without the big investment. Save almost 25% a month and join today for $1 down and just $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. Restrictions apply. See club for details.
Today's Dan O'Donnell program is brought to you by Great Midwest Bank. Whether you're ready to buy, build, or renovate, Great Midwest Bank takes the stress out of paying for it. Get started today at greatmidwestbank.com.
While most other furniture finishers restore wood furniture using high-pressure water to remove old lacquer and varnish, we only use a chemical solvent. Because when you use water, it will eventually raise the grain, loosen glue joints, and lift veneer. So if you have something really special that you'd like to restore, call us. For the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com. If you want your restored antique piece to remain primitive, no problem. Maybe you want to restore it to as good as new condition. We can do that. The way we work is based solely on what your needs are. And that seems to make the process of restoring your unique piece almost always a positive one. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com.
I'm Brett Ochtenhagen, owner of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services. I frequently speak with people who are unhappy with their landscaping and they're unsure how to turn things around. Well, here are 4 tasks that will make a remarkable improvement to dull landscaping. Number 1, thick, lush green grass. We need food and water to be healthy. Our lawn care programs and irrigation systems provide your grass with everything it needs to thrive. Number 2, pruning. Regular, technically correct pruning keeps plants strong and vibrant. Number 3, plant bed edging and a fresh layer of bark mulch. There's nothing better than the look of crisp bed edges and fresh mulch. Number 4, landscape lighting. You finally have your landscaping looking its best. A landscape lighting system lets your landscaping come alive after dark. So there you are, 4 landscaping tips that amplify the beauty of your home. Please call Seasonal Services at 262-392-3444 or look for us online at seasonalservices.com.
It's getting to be that time. Time to get down and dirty. In your garden, that is. There's no time like now to beat the spring rush. At Miners Garden Center, the trucks are already rolling in, and they're filled with everything and anything you'll need for your yard and garden. And don't forget to check out our website, sign up for updates, and get information on your yard and garden. It's gardening from the ground up. A family tradition since 1949. Miners on 76, just north of Good Hope.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed. Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hasselus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hasselus Mattress.
Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Hey guys, don't be that dad without life insurance. With thanks to Ethos, you can be that great dad with life insurance to help keep his family living exactly like they do now, secure and protected in the event of the unexpected. With a fast and easy online experience, some policies as low as $1 a day and up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam, just a few health questions. Ethos makes getting life insurance protection hassle-free. E for easy, E for Ethos at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Opinion, emotion, passion. This is News Talk 1130 WISN.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Welcome back to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Let's get right to it. The unhinged liberal of the day.
Make me crazy.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany.
Make me crazy.
All white people are racist.
Does that make me crazy?
Trump is dangerous because he's evil.
America is over.
Today's unhinged liberal of the day is this unnamed Princeton pro-Hamas protester who says the university is starving her and her friends.
My peers and I, we are starving. We are physically exhausted. I am quite literally shaking right now, as you can see. We are both cold and hot at the same time. We are all immunocompromised. And based on the university's meeting yesterday with some of our bargaining team, they would love to continue physically weakening us because they can't stand to say no to unjust murder.
Unreal. Princeton is cutting off food supplies to the Palestinian camp? Nope. That young lady is on a voluntary hunger strike, and she's shocked that she's hungry on a hunger strike. That's why she is your unhinged liberal of the day. Stay tuned, more to come.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good morning, I'm Ted Allen. President Biden came to Racine yesterday to tout the thousands of jobs that'll be created by a new Microsoft AI data center at the Foxconn site in Mount Pleasant. While there, Biden took a jab at Foxconn and former President Trump.
He and the administration promised a $10 billion investment by Foxconn
to build a new manufacturing complex, create 13,000 new jobs. In fact, he came here with your Senator, Ron Johnson, literally holding a golden shovel, promising to build the 8th wonder of the world. Are you kidding me?
Microsoft is adding to its original $1.4 billion project. They now spend over $3 billion on both the center and a number of training outreach hubs across the state. UW-Madison officials won't tolerate any disruptions of this weekend's spring commencement by pro-Palestinian protesters. An email to students yesterday warned that disruption of the events could lead to suspension for students who participate in any disruption or a possible arrest, citation, or criminal charges. What's more, current graduates who participate in any disruption could have a hold placed on their degree registration and official records. At least 2 people are dead in Tennessee after severe weather hit several southern states last night. 4 tornadoes were reported south of Nashville, with at least 1 person reported killed and 4 others injured. In addition, a 22-year-old died when the wind blew a tree onto his car. Checking the WISN Sports scoreboard after a defeat to the Kansas City Royals last night, the Brewers return home tonight to start a series with the St. Louis Cardinals. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Ted Allen on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Dan O'Donnell here for the Lynch family of dealerships. Spring is in the air, and the deals are heating up at Lynch. Get this, Lynch has over 800 new vehicles on the ground ready for immediate delivery. Spring into savings with huge rebates and financing starting as low as 0%. Lynch has new Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, Rams, Chevys, Buicks, GMCs, and Fords on top of their fantastic new car selection. They have a huge inventory of pre-owned vehicles that come with the Lynch Protected Peace of Mind, a 3-month, 3,000-mile certified warranty, and Lynch certification that includes a 168-point inspection, plus a 10-day, 500-mile satisfaction guarantee exchange policy. The Lynch family of dealerships truly has your back, whether you're shopping for a new or used car. Huge spring savings event going on now at all Lynch locations, or check them out 24 hours a day at shoplynch.com.
Here's the latest forecast from the Fox 6 weather experts.
A wet Thursday with steady rain in the morning, tapering off to showers this evening and drying up overnight. High today near 56, should drop to 43 overnight. Back in the 60s tomorrow, but rain returns late in the day. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Jay Weber here, someone who knows firsthand how debilitating spine and back problems can be, and who knows where to turn to get the highest level of spine care. The team of board-certified physicians and surgeons at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. You can find them at orthowisconsin.com. orthowisconsin.com. Ortho Wisconsin has treatment plans that can get you back to an active lifestyle and through the least invasive method possible. They take a multifaceted approach that allows them to use a variety of treatment options and find the best for you. Dr. Michael Nolte is their newest spine surgeon, and he and his colleagues are nationally recognized clinicians dedicated to enhancing quality of care for patients looking to restore and recover spinal function. Pain managing procedures are done at Ortho Wisconsin's Ambulatory Surgery Center in Milwaukee and at their Brookfield Clinic, and the more conservative treatments, like physical therapy, are offered at their new Berlin location as well. Find more info at orthowisconsin.com. In fact, if you have any shoulder, spine, hip, knee, or musculoskeletal pain, check out orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Robert Hack Diamonds pays cash for your unwanted gold, silver, and even diamonds. That's right. Robert Hack Diamonds wants to make you an offer on your gold, silver, and diamonds. With gold at all-time highs, this is the time to sell. The process is very simple. No appointment needed. Just come on in, sit down in a nice, relaxed atmosphere, and the staff at Robert Hack Diamonds will evaluate your unwanted gold, silver, and diamonds and make you an offer on the spot. Then, you can decide if you want a deal or no deal. Gold is at an all-time high, so why not see what it's worth? Now is the perfect time to sell your gold, and Robert Hack Diamonds can also convert your old jewelry into something new with our goldsmiths. Or trade in your outdated pieces for something new and exciting. Again, Robert Hack Diamonds pays cash for your unwanted gold, silver, and diamonds. Yes, we also buy coins, flatware, silver, platinum, the list goes on. If in doubt, come on in. Robert Hack Diamonds. See them in Brookfield, just east of Moreland on Greenfield Avenue, or 76th and Layton, right on the corner in Greenfield, or always online at roberthackdiamonds.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
The Nikki Glazer Podcast.
Her roast of Tom Brady stole the show. Now she's talking about it on the latest episode of the Nikki Glazer Podcast.
I said, tell Tom Brady that I'm the Tom Brady of roasting.
Lots of people roasted the GOAT, but only Nikki is still being talked about.
Every time I refresh my DMs, it's 14 blue check marks of people I didn't even know who knew me are writing like paragraphs to me.
Hear that in all episodes of the Nikki Glazer Podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search the Nikki Glazer Podcast to start listening.
News Talk 1130 WISN.
Be sure to listen to the Annex Wealth Management Investment Show Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Annex provides its expertise to arm listeners with the knowledge and tools to invest wisely. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Get it back to the cutie store! The Milwaukee Admirals play another elimination game Friday when they host the Texas Stars at Panther Arena. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30. Face-off at 7.
iHeartRadio.
10 minutes later, I'm still chuckling at that woman on the Princeton University campus. We're going hungry! I'm immunocompromised! The university is starving us! Becky? You said you were going to go on a hunger strike for Gaza. Being hungry is sort of part of hunger strike. Welcome back to the Dan O'Donnell Show. If you would like to join us, the adventknows.com talk and text line, 414-799-1130, 1-800-838-9476. Email me, DOD@iHeartMedia.com, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show as well. Watch the show streaming live on X, on Facebook, or on our YouTube channel. Just search Dan O'Donnell or Dan O'Donnell Show and join Dan Nation, join the conversation going on right now. One of our texters wants to know whether that was AOC saying that she was going hungry because of her hunger strike. It sure could have been, couldn't it? No, that was just a random young lady at Princeton. Now, someone else, I just happened to see this, wants to know, what day do I do Forgotten History? Unfortunately, folks, Forgotten History is on hiatus for the foreseeable future. Because we use so much music as a part of the podcast, and we have a bit of an issue regarding iHeartMedia's corporate policy on whether podcasts can actually use music at all, because folks, I just see music as being an integral part of telling the story. I use sound, I use music. Yes, I'm aware that Paul Harvey did something similar decades ago in the rest of the story without any music. I think it's a part of the story. You listen to a whole lot of podcasts. I just finished up one, a very, very good podcast about the Manson murders and how they essentially changed America, ended the 1960s, ushered in the 70s 70s and 80s. And it was just a fascinating, the music just added such a layer to it. I've decided until we get resolution on this, I'm just going to put Forgotten History on hiatus. We do have about 100 or so episodes. For those unfamiliar, because we haven't done this in quite some time since the edict came down from corporate that we're not allowed to use music in podcasts, we've got about 100 archived episodes dating back about 3 or 4 years when we started doing this segment and this podcast. The way I envisioned it was as a standalone podcast, little 5-minute stories that you could listen to on a short car ride, talk about with the kids or grandkids, and that. And I just feel like it loses way too much without having the musical accompaniment. This is also why I have gotten a number of questions, and I feel like every few weeks I need to update people on this because I get so many questions about why the podcast sounds so disjointed, why I'll be talking about something and then all of a sudden it'll almost sound like I'm talking about something completely differently and I was cut off in the middle of a sentence. It's because we cannot use bumper music in our podcasts. This, again, was an edict that came down from iHeartMedia corporate. Now, I will note that you'll still hear music on the Sean Hannity and Clay and Buck shows, which are also owned by iHeartMedia and syndicated through the Premier Radio networks. Yes, believe me, I listened to all of them as soon as we were told that we couldn't put the theme song on, we couldn't put, and the ultimate irony is that we pay for the use of the Universal Production Music Library, yet we get copyright violation strikes on Facebook and on YouTube all the time for using the music that we are licensed and authorized to use by Universal. So I'll get automatic copyright claims from Universal Music when we are completely authorized to use Universal. I don't know. I have tried. This has been the thorn in my side, the bane of my existence over the last, what would you say, Producer Dave, 4 months, 4 or 5 months we've had this. Yeah, this has been going back for quite a while, but I think it's only 3 or 4 months that we've had this. And this is, if you listen to Vicky, if you listen to Mark Belling, Jay, this is impacting all of the local and statewide show podcasts. Apparently, there is a separate deal with the Premier Radio networks. I have no idea how that works. But the basic issue is we are licensed. We are authorized by the recording companies through their various associations. Everybody laughs when I say this one. ASCAP, A-S-C-A-P. And the other one is BMI, I believe. Yeah, so BMI and ASCAP are the trade associations for the recording industry that licenses music to play on the radio. So we are authorized to use 30-second segments. It's called thematic license. As bumper music, as whatever, you can kind of loop it. And that apparently doesn't apply on the internet. This is actually, I think, a very interesting, because a lot of people face this with respect to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA. And it's the internet is something wholly different than broadcast, right? So while you might be able to use something, even if you license it over the air, you can't necessarily use it on the internet. Now, you might say, well, why don't you just pay to license the music on the internet? Well, BMI and ASCAP have not yet determined what internet use would be worth. The idea was always, okay, you play something on the air and it's gone. It's out into the ether. It's radio waves traveling through space. Well, when it's a podcast, it's online and accessible forever. Right? So how exactly does that work? What is it worth to have permanent access and to use another artist's work in perpetuity? Now, of course, there are, exceptions to copyright. Criticism is fair use. You've got legitimate news value is fair use. Parody is fair use. So long as this is why, by the way, we haven't done parody songs. We were in a run of doing some very fun, very creative parody songs. We haven't been able to do those. It's just been very, difficult to kind of do, but it's navigating an entirely new space of podcast broadcasting, of digital use of social media. So just giving you an update on that. Where do we want to start? Anti-Semitism on UW-Madison's campus. The chancellor of UWM giving a big, wet, sloppy kiss to the pro-Hamas camp. Or The Rock. Producer Dave says The Rock. Big updates there. Less than 24 hours after the Franklin Common Council voted to sue the Rock Sports Complex and its developer Michael Zimmerman for payment of back taxes totaling about $1 million. What do you know? Zimmerman came up with the money, which I think, in thinking about it in a little more depth, I first learned about this about an hour and a half after he dropped off the check, that the payment had cleared and the lawsuit was going to be resolved. Of course, the mayor, I keep calling him Steve. The old mayor is Steve. This is how I keep calling him Steve Nelson. Steve Olson is the former mayor. He was defeated by John Nelson. So the new mayor is John Nelson, who had an eventful day of his own, if you can believe it, at his day job. So Zimmerman drops off this $1 million check, and he's been claiming forever he's a good corporate citizen. He's a great partner for the city of Franklin. Why the hell did the city have to sue him to get him to pay his taxes? Well, he claims that the amount isn't exactly what's in the contract. Oh, no, yes, it absolutely is. Well, now he claims that he can go on doing whatever it is he wants, and that Fire Festival 2 can go on, also known as Tacos and Tequila. They did reach an agreement. 55 decibels is what the Milwaukee Milkmen game can broadcast at. The issue has been, for those unfamiliar with our ongoing series on the truly staggering levels of noise violations by this Rock Sports Complex. No, the municipal ordinance is 50 decibels. And I believe it goes down to 45 at night. It's not 55 decibels. Moreover, what is very interesting to me is that The Rock has been hosting UW-Milwaukee baseball games, about 20 of them by my count this fall, without any sort of permit whatsoever. The permitting for the upcoming season of Milwaukee Milkmen semi-pro baseball is in a couple of weeks. I believe it's in 2 weeks. They're going to decide on whether or not this is going to be permitted. So finally, they come up with their $1 million check. Because they're such good corporate citizens, they need to be threatened with a lawsuit. What do you suppose would happen if I just sort of said, nah, I don't feel like paying my $1 million tax bill? You think the old man and his 80,000 new IRS agents would allow that one? Okay, fine, you got me. You're going to withhold my liquor license. I'll pay. Fine. Oh, there was speculation, and I still do believe that it's true, just taking a look at some of the financial documents that I've been privy to, that The Rock is in a far more precarious financial position than it's letting on, and that it took a while to come up with the money because there was about $1,022,000 owed as of mid-January and a 1% interest rate that was charged to that. So about $10,000 every month that the principal wasn't paid. I believe the check last night was for about $935,000, which The Rock claims totally settles this. I'm not entirely sure. I'm seeing a $65,000 discrepancy. But nonetheless, the bulk of the payment was paid, and the fear was that if The Rock was never going to be able to pay up because of said financial difficulties, that the burden would almost necessarily be placed on taxpayers in the form of higher property taxes, upwards of 5%, possibly going even as high as 10% for every single individual homeowner and business owner in the city of Franklin. Well, as soon as we reported this on Monday, the you-know-what hit the fan at Franklin. Of course, everybody who is associated with The Rock called me a liar and accused me of not allowing them to tell the full story. I have said since I first started reporting on this in October, I will allow the mayor of Franklin the Franklin Common Council, the Franklin Police Chief, and anyone from The Rock to speak as soon as, and I will listen on this radio show, as soon as they start listening to the people of Franklin. As soon as they stop mocking them, as soon as they stop being openly hostile and dismissive of their legitimate claims, in short, as soon as they stop being a-holes to the very people that they are supposed to serve, and in the case of the mayor especially, represent, I will be happy to have them. I will have them on for a full 2-hour show. So far, I have not seen that. And people, you won't let them on, you won't let them on. No, I won't. Go on whatever show they want with marginal listenership and call me Daddy's Boy O'Donnell as long as they want. Not going to change my mind. I said Mayor John Nelson had himself a busy day. I meant it. Nelson, whose full-time job is as a lieutenant with the Town of Waterford Police Department. I do apologize. I actually put up this story on my Facebook page and my X feed right after I got done with a run. I had been chasing down this story for 2 days trying to get it confirmed. And in my haste to get it on, I typed Village of Waterford, not Town of Waterford. So I do apologize. John R. Nelson is a lieutenant with the Town of Waterford Police Department. He is one of 2 people, I am told the other is his partner, who were suspended 2 days ago and actually walked out of the Town of Waterford Police Department because of an ongoing investigation. They have been placed on administrative leave pending the results of said investigation, which I am told was filed by a Town of Waterford employee. Again, I apologize. I put Village of Waterford. Your Village of Waterford Police Department is just fine. But okay, can we just, my own personal pet peeve. Brookfield, Waterford, people, talk to me. There is no reason to have a town and a village. I know. You may think it's not like we have a city of Milwaukee, a town of Milwaukee, a village of Milwaukee, a hamlet of Milwaukee. Just call yourselves Waterford and Brookfield. Makes it way easier for people like me. The Racine County Sheriff's Office, because the 2 men suspended as part of this investigation and are not allowed to go back to their office, they've had all policing powers suspended. The Racine County Sheriff's Office is now effectively running the Waterford Police Department pending the results of this investigation. Those 2 men took over while the Town of Waterford searches for a new police chief. The old police chief retired in December, and these 2 guys, including Mayor Nelson, have been running Waterford Police ever since. Now, nobody is running the Waterford Police Department. I have no idea what this investigation entails. The Town of Waterford has been, shall we say, unusually tight-lipped about this one, especially to me. I am guessing it's, well, first of all, you can't really discuss a pending investigation. So I've had to work sources pretty much for the last 48 to 72 hours to try to get, hey, what exactly is going on here? The fact that it was another employee who brought this complaint suggests to me it's some sort of workforce conduct issue, but anything more than that, which I have heard from multiple sources, they both said workplace conduct of some sort, anything beyond that would be complete speculation on my part. What I can report, though, as undeniable fact, is that Nelson was walked out of the building a couple of days ago and that he has been placed on administrative leave pending the results of this investigation. Man, busy week for him, wouldn't you say? Also, a busy week on the UW-Madison and UWM protest camp fronts. We'll get to that story coming up next here on the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Why is abbreviation such a long word?
That, my friend, is one of life's unanswerable questions.
I mean, you'd think someone could make it shorter.
Oh, you mean like instead of saying buy one, get one, you can just say BOGO.
Yeah, kinda.
Through Monday at Hasselus Mattress, buy a new Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, or Beauty Rest mattress, and we'll give you a free box spring or an equal amount off an adjustable base.
Or, in other words,
BOGO.
Right.
Plus, free next day delivery and employee-free showrooms.
You mean I don't have to deal with pushy salespeople?
No.
So I can try out all the mattresses
solo.
And through Monday, I can
BOGO.
You're a man of few words. I like that.
Buy a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper and get a free box spring or an equal amount off an adjustable base. Now through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Find a self-service showroom near you or shop online at hasselus.com.
Learn the secrets to create your own ultimate backyard retreat with Brett Ochtenhagen of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services. Tune in every Saturday at 1 p.m. on News Talk 1130 WISN. Learn more at seasonalservices.com.
Full service real estate, flat fee commission. This is Paul Leby from Lake Country Flat Fee. When you sell your home with us, our fee structure will save you a lot of money, but we're also going to provide you full service throughout the process. That's right, we'll provide you with all the services that a more expensive real estate company will provide you. We have a 20-plus year proven track record of success. Our sellers save about 50% versus a traditional 6% broker. Why sell any other way? To learn more, visit our website at lakecountryflatfee.com.
He has more energy and sleeps better, and his wife told him he no longer snores. John's decision to come to Advent changed his life. We can help change your life, too.
The global elites are waging a war on our financial freedom. They want to control our future through digital currencies and a cashless society. By eliminating cash, they can track every transaction, impose negative interest rates, and even freeze accounts at will. But patriots are fighting back by investing in physical gold. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon here. I believe gold is the answer. It safeguards your wealth better than any other asset. And even better, with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, you can move your retirement savings into tangible real gold without paying taxes or penalties. Rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into physical gold could be the smartest financial move you ever make. To learn more, get your free info kit from Birch Gold by texting SECURE to 989898. That's SECURE to 989898. Take a stand for your financial future. Text SECURE to 989898 right now to receive your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group.
Message and data rates may apply.
The next generation
is here.
You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show.
The University of Wisconsin-Madison Police Department is investigating multiple instances of violence at the pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine camp, which is the subject of negotiations between Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin and her office and the protest leaders, because Mnuchin is terrified, folks. I mean, petrified that these crazies will disrupt this weekend's graduation ceremonies. According to a press release yesterday, UW-Madison Police Department investigating 3 separate reports of violence that occurred on Library Mall. On Wednesday, May 1st, a student who was displaying a pro-Israel sign reported that an unknown man with a knife visibly attached to his waistband approached her on Library Mall and stated to her, "Jews shouldn't be on campus." The incident was reported to UWPD today, May 8th, and is being investigated as a possible hate crime. On Tuesday, May 7th, at approximately 3:50 p.m., a student reported that he was approached by an unknown male on Library Mall who threatened to kill him if he didn't put away his phone. The victim walked away and reported the suspect followed him for a short time and continued to threaten him verbally. On Wednesday, May 8th, 2024, at approximately 4:20 a.m., an assault involving the use of a large stick occurred between two individuals on Library Mall. As UWPD officers arrived, the fight had stopped and there was no longer a disturbance. UWPD continued monitoring the area for safety. So what would you call this? A mostly peaceful protest camp? Meanwhile, UWM Chancellor Mark Monet, in saying that, hey, kids, it's just not safe for you to have a protest camp be permanent here outside of whatever you decided to name one of our halls now, said this, which is particularly nauseating. May 8th, 2024, a message on the protests and encampment. Dear UWM students, faculty, and staff, we are bearing witness to history, not just at UWM, but across the nation and the world. For the past 10 days, UWM's portion of this historic chapter has unfolded as an encampment on the lawn outside of Mitchell Hall. It tests us in ways not seen in generations and reminds us that such tests rarely come with one-size-fits-all answers. Knowing all this, I write to provide more clarity about UWM's position, its obligations, and my personal hopes for how we move forward. Reading just that first paragraph, what do you think Monet believes about these protest camps? That they're noble, that they're justified, that he agrees with their cause. He's just worried that a whole bunch of unwashed, paid-for protesters pooping all over the lawn is not sanitary. Conflict in the Middle East, as it is done for decades and centuries, inevitably sparks the deeply felt and seemingly diametrically opposed responses we see today. For many of our students and many more in the surrounding community, the encampment has become a focal point to voice these beliefs. Since the encampment's inception, UWM leadership has sought the precarious balance required of a public university that serves a broadly diverse community. We've also made it clear that the encampment is unlawful and that it must end. Okay, if you really believed that, if you were really interested in following the law, you would clear the encampment. Why haven't you? Why has there not been a move by UWM Police or the Milwaukee Police Department, as at least there was a half-hearted attempt on the UW-Madison campus, and then they saw all of the headlines that they were getting in lefty circles about police brutality. Some of these protesters, brutality would include making them get on a treadmill. It was not police brutality. This was violently resisting arrest and police in riot gear, four officers at least, were hurt in that resistance. This at least was an attempt to clear the camp. Of course, it was back up that afternoon, and nobody, and I mean nobody, was worried about any of this. Producer Dave, is this Trump live? Is he? Nope, that wasn't live. Okay, that was just B-roll, because I see the trial is in recess, and I have committed to every single time Trump speaks, you are going to hear him, whether live or on a slight tape delay. So if Monet really believed that this was illegal, that this violated both state law and University of Wisconsin system policy, which it does, and that these encampments need to be taken down, he would have taken them down. They would have, at UWM and UW-Madison, made it abundantly clear that this is unlawful. By the way, I have received a dispatch from a loyal listener who said, the kids are scared of the rain down at UWM. He saw only 3 protesters as of about 15 minutes ago outside of their tents, and that most of those tents appear to be empty. Hey, Chancellor, now's your chance. Clear the camp before the kids get back. You're listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Coming up, President Biden tells yet another lie about his background and once again reads a teleprompter direction here in Wisconsin. Hey, Dan O'Donnell here for my great friends at Mander Collision and Glass. Now, with 6 locations to serve you, you hear me talk about how great Mander is, their work ethic, their customer service. Here's customer Hank. Took my Corvette in for a new windshield with camera in the glass. Their tech knew everything and did a great job. Everyone there was friendly and helpful. I loved the modern and very neat waiting area. Thank you, guys. Finally, even the bathroom was very clean. This is a very professional family-run business. When I need any more work done, I'm coming here. Peter, you're the best. He even brought this old man an armchair so I could sit and work on my laptop. The receptionist was very quick to say hello and knew everything about my job. Thank you. No, thank you, Hank, for reminding me and everyone about the Mander difference. Start your repair today at mandercollision.com. That's mandercollision.com.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules.
Dan O'Donnell here. It's This Week with Annex Wealth Management alongside Dave Spano, President and CEO of Annex. It's now May, and one of the oldest axioms in investing is sell in May, go away. But is that still applicable in the digital age?
That's so funny, Dan. This goes all the way back to the 1600s when people would leave London during the months of May through September, sell in May and go away, and they come back on St. Ledger's Day was the old saying. And of course, there was a race that happened in September, and that's when everybody would come back into town and get back to work. But of course, that is a silly saying when it comes to investments and all of the data that it's out there right now. And you see the data that we got on Friday, 175,000 jobs created, expected was 240,000. And the market really celebrated that bad news because they thought perhaps the Fed might lower interest rates sooner than expected. And you and I have been talking about this for a number of months. When we started the year, the market thought there might be as many as 6 rate cuts. And now they think the first rate cut might be in September, right before the election, which of course the Fed does not want to get into politics, right? We'll have to see what the economic news, what the job numbers are, and of course, as we head into the inflation, what inflation looks like, which has remained sticky. So let's take a look at all of this data throughout the rest of the summer. And of course, that will have an impact on how your portfolio looks and reacts.
That's why you should never go away in May or ever. You always need to be active. You always need to know what you own and why you own it. And you need to be working with someone who's working with and for you as a fee-only fiduciary. They can help walk you through that process, which can seem daunting, but it's really easy. You get a wealth metric. It's a review of your portfolio available only at Annex Wealth Management. For Dave Spano, President and CEO of Annex, I'm Dan O'Donnell, saying thanks for listening to This Week with Annex Wealth Management.
I'll say it again. Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. And what that means is wherever we go, we make it better for those in need of our services and the great people we have working with us. Our reputation matters. It matters to us, and it should matter to you. We believe that operating with integrity will set us apart from our competitors, and that this attracts people to us that share these same values. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Younglith with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
With nearly 50 years of experience, my dad, Jim Mullally, has taught my cousin Mark everything he knows. In fact, he bestowed so much expertise onto Mark that Mark went to New York to compete against the top furniture finishers in the country. And you know what? He won. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com. The bulk of our business is in wood furniture restoration. We found that there are a lot of folks out there with antique furniture and heirloom pieces that are in good shape, but just need to be brought back to life again. Well, that's our specialty. And right here in Mequon, you'll find one of the country's top furniture finishers. So if you want only the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Her roast of Tom Brady stole the show. Now she's talking about it on the latest episode of the Nikki Glaser Podcast.
I said, tell Tom Brady that I'm the Tom Brady of roasting.
Lots of people roasted the GOAT, but only Nikki is still being talked about.
Every time I refresh my DMs, it's 14 blue check marks of people I didn't even know who knew me are writing like paragraphs to me.
Hear that in all episodes of the Nikki Glaser Podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search the Nikki Glaser Podcast to start listening.
Classical conservatism, contemporary style. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show, a tour de force of truth, the sort of truth the rest of the media ignores or even straight up covers up. The defense is now cross-examining Stormy Daniels, and we have determined that the media is going to continue having stormasms, just as it has gorebasms, or had gorebasms, in the waning days of the Soviet Union. Everything Mikhail Gorbachev did, according to Rush Limbaugh, just sent the media into... And what we've seen over the past couple of days, heck, the past couple of years... They just cannot get enough Stormy. Even though I think Clay Travis has been making this point on his show over the past couple of days, Stormy very likely nuked the prosecution's case because she was allowed to testify on non-relevant things, i.e. the actual encounter with Donald Trump. This is a case about falsification of business records. And Travis, who is an attorney, I believe like me, also non-practicing. Well, obviously he's non-practicing. The man does so much. He did a radio show. He's got the Outkick website. He's a devoted dad. Really cool guy. Great friend of the show. I genuinely do like me some Clay Travis. Just a good guy when he was here in Milwaukee back in August. Got to hang out with him for a couple of days and really had a lot of fun. In any event, his point was that the only thing that would be relevant in this case, in a falsification of business records case, was that you call Stormy to the stand. Did you have an affair with Donald Trump? Yes. Did he write you a check, or did Michael Cohen write you a check? Yes. Was it understood that this check was to keep yourself silent about the affair? Yes. Was this check written by the Trump Corporation? Was it a Donald Trump personal check, or was it from the Trump Corporation? It was from the Trump Corporation. Okay, next witness. All of this stuff about, the details of it's relevant. It's not relevant. And the judge, Juan Merchan, apparently said, I didn't get a chance to look at the transcript, so I'm going off of what Travis was saying yesterday, was that, well, he allowed it because the defense wasn't objecting enough. Of course they weren't. Do you know why? Because they're preserving this obviously reversible error for an appeal. I just realized I made a reversible error, and I am going to reverse it right now. I completely forgot to give the 10 o'clock word in the Spring Green Cash Contest, and I'll do it now. The word is money, M-O-N-E-Y, money. You have still got 12 minutes to go to our website and enter the keyword money. And frankly, if it takes you more than 12 minutes to enter the keyword money, I think you are having a stroke, and you should probably go to the doctor. Don't go to Ascension right now. Have you? Yeah, it's massive cyber attack has completely disrupted service at Ascension. I've been sort of looking into this through some back channels. I have no idea what this is about, but it is causing major, major issues. So if you have an appointment today at any Ascension location, you might need to reschedule. President Biden was in Racine County yesterday, and would you believe it, ladies and gentlemen, he once again read an instruction on the teleprompter.
My theology professor at the Catholic school I went to was a guy named Riley, last name, and he had been drafted by the Green Bay Packers.
All right, couple of things about this. A, last name is clearly an instruction, like, hey, Riley is the last name. Why did they have to put that in there? Because Biden wouldn't remember who his grade school teacher was. Listen to it again.
My theology professor at the Catholic school I went to was a guy named Riley, last name, and he had been drafted by the Green Bay Packers.
Now, this follows just a couple of weeks ago, a point where Biden was trying to lead a crowd in a chant of 4 more years and also read a teleprompter instruction for him to pause to let the chant start.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Amazingly, this wasn't the first time President Ron Burgundy read a prompter instruction. July 8th, 2022, his infamous pause. Repeat the line moment.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political, or maybe precise, not and or political power.
End of quote. Repeat the line. No, end of quote was your note that this was the end of the quote. Then you repeat the line for effect. Sir, what about the actual substance of his line? That there was a Catholic school teacher that he had whose name was Riley. And he said that this Mr. Riley never played for the Green Bay Packers, but every time the Packers won, they would be dismissed early. And of course, Biden used this to try to endear himself to Wisconsinites, who he just presumed correctly that nearly all of them are Packers fans. He said, I was always a Packers fan. No joke. No joke. Just as he grew up in the Jewish community, he grew up in the black community in Delaware. He marched in the civil rights. He is a man of the people. Good old Scranton Joe. He grew up a Green Bay Packers fan because of this guy, Riley. According to Pro Football Reference, the New York Post apparently is the only organization that's ever going to fact-check Biden's numerous lies about his background. According to Pro Football Reference, the Packers have only drafted a single person with the last name Riley, spelled either R-I-L-E-Y, R-E-I-L-Y, R-E-I-L-L-E-Y, or R-E-I-L-L-Y since the NFL began its annual college draft in 1936. University of Colorado quarterback Maurice Tex Riley was selected with the 202nd overall pick in the 22nd round of the 1947 draft after his education was interrupted by World War II, during which he commanded bombing missions over the Pacific, according to a 2002 article in the Denver Post. Instead of playing professional football, the Bronze Star recipient rejoined the Air Force in October 1947 as a civil engineer and was deployed to Japan and later Spain. Riley also served as an instructor at bases in Ohio and Alabama before retiring as a major general, according to a military biography. It goes without saying, there is no evidence that he ever taught at a Catholic school in Delaware. The White House did not immediately respond to the Post's request for comment. Biden, the Post noted, previously told a different version of his Packers story, describing how Archmere Academy's headmaster, Father Justin E. Diney, would dismiss students early in celebration of Packers victories. In other words, it seems as though he was getting his stories conflated, neither of which really seem to be true. After his speech yesterday, the president met with a small group of supporters, and really, is there any other group of supporters other than a small group, and said that both of Wisconsin's senators need to be replaced.
A little bit of luck in you all making sure that we change things here in Wisconsin as well. You got some senators I'd like to see change too.
Mr. President, one of those senators, the one who is up for re-election this year, is Tammy Baldwin, a Democrat, a member of your party. All in all, successful visit to Wisconsin, I'd say. He didn't soil himself. I guess that's, a start. Dan O'Donnell Show, coming right back.
The Dan O'Donnell Show.
We'll be right back. I'm Brett Ochtenhagen, owner of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services. Let's celebrate. Spring is finally here. And you know what my favorite thing to do is? Putzing in my yard while enjoying the thick, lush, green grass beneath my bare feet. Ooh, yeah. Wait, you don't have thick, lush green grass and you're afraid the prickers in your lawn will hurt your bare feet? Then you're missing one of the best parts of Wisconsin summers. As Wisconsin's landscape expert, I can help. The licensed lawn care professionals at Seasonal Services understand exactly what it takes to establish and maintain thick, lush, green grass. We take an environmentally responsible and sensitive approach to lawn care. So call Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services at 262-392-3444 or look for us online at seasonalservices.com. And if you need more help in the yard, join me at 1 o'clock every Saturday afternoon for the Designer Yard Show right here on WISN.
This is Michael Lynch from Lynch Truck Center. For the first time ever, Lynch Truck Center is having a massive construction sale on over 400 in-stock trucks, which include Chevrolet, GMC, Hino, and Isuzu. You will not want to miss it. We're adding parking, 7 more truck bays, and expanded parts storage so we can better serve you, our customer. Did you know our experienced sales staff sold more Chevrolet medium-duty trucks and cab overs than all the other dealers in the state combined? With their knowledge on upfits, combined with our service department, we deliver turnkey vehicles for your business, including the right body for your application, bin packages, and even lettered when it's delivered right to your door. As a business owner, has managing your fleet grown into a full-time job? Our fleet department can help. We provide a free fleet analysis which guides you when to trade, help track expenses for maintenance, fuel, and even vehicle tracking. You'll be shocked on the money and time you can save, not to mention having new vehicles under warranty. Visit lynchtruckcenter.com and give us a shot. We won't disappoint you.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and as a community bank, we sincerely appreciate our customer loyalty. Over nearly 90 years, we've done all we can to return the favor. Great Midwest Bank offers flexible solutions that bigger banks and credit unions simply can't, because our entire team is right here in the community. We love helping our neighbors when we're at work, and then catching up over the weekend. Visit us at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
This is a unique place, and there aren't many businesses around like us. We're locally owned, but we've been known to do business on a nationwide scale. We're a retail business, but we're also a distributor. We sell the finest windows and doors and install them all with Craftsman detail. But we also carry the widest selection of replacement parts you can find and are happy to give you valuable advice, so you actually don't have to buy new replacement windows or doors just yet. Like I said, we are different, and that's good. In fact, it's great for you, and it's been great for thousands of our customers who rely on us year in and year out for the best products and industry expertise you just can't find everywhere. This is David Wilhelm. For the highest quality replacement windows and doors and a massive selection of the parts you need to make them last, your clear choice for more is Lisbon Storm Screen and Door. Find us at lisbonstorm.com.
Your clear choice for more, Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
The global elites are waging a war on our financial freedom. They want to control our future through digital currencies and a cashless society. By eliminating cash, they can track every transaction, impose negative interest rates, and even freeze accounts at will. But patriots are fighting back by investing in physical gold. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon here. I believe gold is the answer. It safeguards your wealth better than any other asset. And even better, with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, you can move your retirement savings into tangible, real gold without paying taxes or penalties. Rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into physical gold could be the smartest financial move you ever make. To learn more, get your free info kit from Birch Gold by going to birchgold.com/protect. That's birchgold.com/protect. Take a stand for your financial future. Go to birchgold.com/protect right now to receive your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
It's brand new, season 2. I'm Marissa Thalberg.
And I'm Stephen Wolf-Fededa, and we're excited to be back having bigger, bolder, and always real conversations.
Straight from the C-suite front lines of marketing, media, and more.
We have great friends joining from people you may know, like Wilmer Valderrama and Bobby Burke.
And people you'll want to know. So grab a coffee or, hey, even an Aperol Spritz and come join us on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart.
Open your free iHeart app today and search brand new.
Music rotation, the version, of course, of the 1812 Overture by the EDM violin quartet Bond, who also do the theme song to the Dan O'Donnell Show. Explosive, the remix to said song, serves as the theme song to the Dan O'Donnell Show. President Biden was on CNN's Out Front with Erin Burnett, and Erin surprisingly got out front of President Biden's claims that the economy was doing great. I'm telling you, folks, I was shocked at this flagrant act of journalism, as my old friend Charlie Sykes would say. Yes, he is still my friend. I know a lot of you people don't like him. I've known Charlie for, almost 25 years now. He always said it was a flagrant act of journalism. Just listen to this question. This is the first question that Burnett asked Biden about the economy.
When you talk about the economy, of course, it is by far the most important issue for voters. It's also true right now, Mr. President, that voters by a wide margin trust Trump more on the economy. They say that in polls. And part of the reason for that may be the numbers. And you're aware of many of these, of course. The cost of buying a home in the United States is double what it was when you look at your monthly costs from before the pandemic. Real income, when you account for inflation, is actually down since you took office. Economic growth last week, far short of expectations. Consumer confidence, maybe no surprise, is near a 2-year low. With less than 6 months to go to Election Day, are you worried that you're running out of time to turn that around?
Biden then responded, my Uncle Bosie was eaten by cannibals during World War II. No, he tried to say, well, it's already turned around. We got hiring and all this good stuff. The big news broken during that interview was that President Biden was going to pause weapons that could be used in Israel's invasion of Rafah, weapons and funding for said weapons that were approved by Congress.
I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem. We're going to continue to make sure Israel is secure in terms of Iron Dome and their ability to respond to attacks like came out of the Middle East recently. But it's just wrong. We're not going to supply the weapons and the artillery shells used that have been used.
Artillery shells as well.
Yeah, artillery shells.
Now, I want to take you back to 2019. This is rather obviously because Biden is concerned about losing critical swing states because of young voters abandoning him, especially in the Palestinian capital of the United States, Michigan, which just might be the state that costs him re-election. I'm old enough to remember in 2019 when a president doing just that, refusing to provide aid to one of our allies that was approved and fully approved by Congress, was an impeachable offense. Donald Trump was literally impeached for threatening to withhold aid to Ukraine if Ukraine didn't investigate Joe Biden to help Trump win re-election. Remember that impeachment? Pepperidge Farm remembers, and so do I. Dan O'Donnell Show done for today. Enjoy the rest of the day. Back tomorrow, 9:06.